everybody, this is Alchemist2 and I'm back again with another series review. I just recently finished episode 10 of season 2 of Orphan Black. Let me tell you something. There's another institution involved. It's called Topside, and they're completely different from Dyad, and they have a similar biogenetics experiment occurring. They are calling Castor, and Castor, they're all the male clones in the sequence. Kazuma is still suffering in this episode, and getting another spinal tap or bone marrow transplant from Kira is going to take a while, and hopefully she gets it because she's slowly dying. But there was a scene in this particular episode I really enjoyed when Sarah and Kazuma are talking to each other, and she said, "Well, what are you thinking about?" And she says, "I'm thinking about sacred geometry, Buckminster Fuller." And I thought, yeah, you think the same things I do, even though I don't entirely understand the sequence of the golden ratio in and of itself. I just know that it is involved in every aspect of what we know as our existence, and even in our molecules, the golden ratio exists, and that to me is absolutely fascinating. That's why the golden ratio is one of my favorite numbers, other than pi and infinity. I think it's a terminating number. Pi never terminates. I'm not sure about the golden ratio. I think it does. I haven't really done a lot of research on the golden ratio, so don't quote me on that. She's got a conch shell or nautilus on her on the underside of her wrist, and that represents the golden ratio in and of itself, and how it repeats itself in nature and in every aspect of our lives. And I thought, wow, that's fascinating. She really is deep, and that's why I connect with her on that level. Even though I'm not really a numbers person, I'm more what you would consider an artist, and I like geometry. Geometry is my favorite thing. Geometry is another whole different branch of math in and of itself that I understand completely, because it has illustrations, and I can make sense out of illustrations and diagrams that just, I gotta have a physical representation of something I can't really grasp, like a number. I'm getting more familiar with numbers. But anyway, this episode is what I would call a hinge point, and there is no preview for next season, but it does give us something to anticipate as Orphan Black fans, or Clone Clubbers as we're calling ourselves. And it's just absolutely intense. And I just noticed something. This whole box on the front, it's really like Tetris or Rubik's Cube, and it's all put together. They all connect. And I thought, this is absolutely true. But it does it in such a different way, a very disturbing manner. And of course, Duncan in this particular episode, I just realized something when Kazuma is reading The Island of Dr. Moreau. I thought, wait a minute here. He put the sequence inside of the book. And I had a feeling that maybe he would have done that, because he wouldn't have told Sarah outright right before they do the ovarectomy. But they call it an ovarectomy, I think. Ovarectomy. She never went through with it. She had help from Kazuma in that brilliant force plus mass plus acceleration trap that she planted. Yeah, that was genius. I thought, ooh, when that happened to Rachel, I almost leapt up in joy, because I thought, yeah, you got what's coming to you. And I really shouldn't do that. I'm like, you got what's coming to you. And now she's going to be blind in one eye. But needless to say, this was just an outstanding season. better than season 1, and it just adds to the complexity of the season of the series in and of itself, and the whole implication of genetics, biogenetics, the field in and of itself. It just opens a whole nother possibility that I think a lot of geneticists are delving into. That whole realm, that ethical, the ethical implications are very controversial, but this gives us a view, a mirror, a window into what possibly could happen if we do indeed make it that far. We've already been able to clone sheep and dogs and other animals lesser intelligence than ourselves. But it's just the repercussions. I don't know. I'm okay with stem cell research. I think it would be better if people would do autograft, because that way they would just avoid that whole falderall with oh, it's a stem cell. Yeah, I'm okay with stem cell research. I'm just gonna state that outright. This is basically an experiment in social Darwinism, I think. And I'm a Darwinist in and of everything else. I'm a Darwinist at my heart. But I don't think that my views of an intelligent mind behind all that is sullied in any way, shape, or form. And I don't think there is any argument in that. I'm sorry I went off on that track, but I just want to state that for the record. If you know my reviews from the past, you know I'm at my core, I am definitely a follower of Darwin. I don't know what else to say, honestly, about this particular series, other than it really gives you quite quite the perspective, quite a new perspective on genetics in and of itself, and the field, and where it's headed, and what could be from this is what I would consider a worst case scenario. And the jockeying of power, and the politicos behind it, and all the underlining backstabbing that goes on, and who has the power, and who wields the power, and who is the fulcrum and making the whole thing work. And you go beyond that, and it's just, you think, is this where our science is going to get us? Is this where our technology is leading us? And you go back to the whole Island of Dr. Moreau thing, and you wonder, is fiction becoming reality? And it gives me pause, honestly. But I'm looking forward to next season in the April of this year. So I'm completely caught up. And now I know what's going on, so I am waiting in suspenders, as my friend would say. Until next time, everybody, live long and prosper. Arrivederci!